Sith Lords are our specialty. Over here, of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
I think we all have to agree that Maul has to be one of the greatest characters of all time in the Star Wars saga. And I was just kind of watching and analyzing and doing a little bit of research, and have you ever stopped to think and wonder, was any of the fight calculated on either part? And especially with Maul, did you ever think that his side of it was actually planned, and did he actually try to kind of guide the fight where he wanted it to go, knowing what he was looking at between the two Jedi? I mean, yes, Maul is a born fighter, and he was bred to do exactly this. And I mean, yeah, he was trained by Palpatine, and he has been chomping at the bit to go after the Jedi for quite some time. But, I mean, this is essentially the guy's job. I mean, he was brought in to do one thing by Palpatine, and he was trained up by Palpatine to be an absolutely unstoppable fighting machine. We can even take a look back when Maul was fighting Qui-Gon on Tatooine. And if you don't think that any bit of that wasn't calculated, then I don't know if we were watching the same fight. Ever stop to think and wonder why Maul only used one blade against Qui-Gon instead of going dual blades against him? I mean, obviously dual blades had to have been a little bit tougher to deal with, so why didn't he use them then? And another thing about Maul, you gotta understand that he sort of just kind of likes to play with his food a little bit, so to speak. I mean, the man has some arrogance behind him, but he also has the skill to back it up. But regarding bringing out his dual blades at this moment, I think that he was saving them, one, for the end, and obviously for climactic reasons of the movie, but let's stick to the lore with it just for a moment. But I kind of think he knew that he was going to eventually be going against two Jedi, and you don't want to show your cards just yet, right from the very beginning, so I think it was kind of a nice surprise to keep on his part to go against the two Jedi, between Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. I think Maul was actually pretty calculated throughout this entire fight. I think that he knew in order to beat him, at some point he was going to have to separate him. Maul had to have kind of studied Naboo and kind of tried to pick the best place, you know, some place that he can fight the two Jedi kind of on his terms. Some of the fight really looks like Maul is kind of retreating, but what if Maul isn't actually retreating? What if Maul is actually moving in a calculated way, kind of backpedaling to where he knows that he can separate the two Jedi? Kind of like, you know, his home playing field, and he knows exactly where the best spots are. I mean, Palpatine sent him there, and he's been there long enough to be able to go and scout around and look for locations and kind of plan his way around what he knew was probably eventually going to happen. I mean, he kind of had to take calculated steps, and knowing that he's facing off against two Jedi, and what's going to be his best routes of escape, and what's going to be the best plan of attack for him to be able to maybe level the playing field and separate the two Jedi if he could. Let me know in the comments what you all think. Do you think Maul was kind of just retreating back because they were pushing him back and forcing his hand, or do you think Maul actually had a calculated plan and knew where he wanted to take them and where he wanted to go to kind of put the fight, you know, in his hands and level the playing field in an attempt to try to separate the two Jedi? I kind of started this page over on TikTok and grew a little bit of a following, but I figured I might as well go ahead and transition all this over to YouTube and start pushing out some longer videos and some more content for you guys. So if you can, give a like to the page, give a subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time on Star Wars Toller.
Sith Lords are our specialty. Over here, of Darth Plagueis the Wise.